I mean, zews was, he played quite well for Liquid on Cobblestone. He had very good presence of mind, had great flanks and so on, but of course Renegades will have been able to study that as the veto has gone to Cobblestone, the choice of Renegades.
Yeah, it's a very difficult one. JKS will lead the charge towards the A positions. Trying to clear everything out. A very sneaky EliGe here.
The bomb's been left in the T spawn.
Oh, no! Jump shot as well as we get additional fragging here. Very awkward reloads coming in. Nitro very low, somehow still pulls out the headshot on 3 HP. What a beautiful result. The smoke off as well. The disrespect. No passage here towards A, but as you say, the bomb is at T spawn. So, gonna have to go get that, and it'll be a while until they show themselves again.
Yeah, but you have to wonder, because if you see how deep USTILO is towards the B bomb site, if the bomb hasn't been left literally in T spawn, do USTILO and NAF, because where NAF is now and where Nifty is now, that is roughly where you want the bomb to be a lot of the time. So maybe they go for a push and then Nifty comes in and rotates the bomb in, for example, but we don't know, we will never know. 3 players remain for both sides, but all the T's are towards B. Nitro and JDM are towards A, so unfortunately for Liquid, this may have been very confusing. All the silence, Twistzz is in the drop zone, there's nobody actually in B for the CTs.
I do like the fact that they had nades that's still in the situation there on Nifty, but Twistzz will be able to take down USTILO, holding onto the drop position. Very, very crucial. Twistzz himself actually has a smoke grenade. I wonder how that will come into play here as they now need to try to close the distance towards that bomb to get a defuse going. I don't know if there's a kit anywhere for them, as get pot shots there from Nifty, taking it very slow into this 2v2. Now this could be awkward, both players playing around the chicken coop. Has this been spotted? I think it doesn't look like it has actually. You see JDM looking towards the plateau. Now they know Nifty finishes everybody off, and that will be the round for Renegades. A very strange one, but Renegades will be happy.
I love that adjustment at the end from the 2 Ts. It's a rare strat, but often quite powerful when you do it. 2 people hiding in the same place, but only Nifty is showing, for example. So they're not trying to use the numbers game here. If Nifty goes down, the CTs should look everywhere else for the last player, and at that point they can play the bomb and get a free kill. So I think that's what they were going for in that situation, but it's not required. Renegades. I'm trying to say Liquid and Renegades at the same time. Renegades get off to a good start, but let's see how long it lasts. Once again, it seems zews will be playing towards the A site, so as the rounds continue, we will look to see if he has the same success with the flanks and so on. Nitro looking in the usual places. That's a smoke you normally drop as a CT player. With a sniper rifle, you can look towards the boulder and the cart, which are common places for T's to stand. So some of you at home may have stood there and wondered, why am I dead? That is why. You can see a lot more over the smoke on the CT side than you can as a T. Some Ts will be brave enough to jump on the boulder to see, oh no! Oh dear.
Hate to see that.
You hate to see it.
Oh no, no. Oh no. Well, have to move forwards, and forwards they will move towards the B-bomb site. Now the double Mac 10 will allow them to create space very quickly as they progress forwards, and they have a great selection of utility to try and also punish any players playing those close positions. They should be fine despite losing Nifty for free. EliGe on the tree though, might try to make things complicated, but you can see the use of utility. The flashbang pushes him back, but still, looks like JDM has a few free shots, but that should have been a kill. It will not be, and now there's problems here. More frags made as Nitro gets into the mix with that scout, and all of a sudden it's just NAF. Oh no, it's gone so desperately wrong, and a quick quick camera angle there as we see Nifty's dead body shot by his teammates.
Interestingly, when that push came in, here's a replay, just jumping straight in and then ragdolling like a discus. As soon as the grenades were deployed, Liquid had most of their players already towards B, and zews was just by the underpass doors. As soon as the grenades were deployed, before they even landed, he started flanking immediately, shoulder peeking, finding out what was going on. Didn't manage to get a kill towards the plateau, but did manage to run distraction while his teammates got into better positions, and so on and so forth. So again, we'll see what roles zews has to play in the rounds to come, but now it's the anti-eco round. Doesn't seem to be a full fight from the T side, which is unusual in situations such as this. zews has gone down, got some info for his team, and the T's haven't really collected anything out of this.
Not too much. I think a couple kills is a good result, but they'll get only one. zews, we know that everyone was saying how much he was sort of sacrificing himself for the team on the desk, just buying CZs, being the back of the team. Well, getting a couple SMG kills will certainly help towards that with the bonus money that you get, well, the extra bonus money that you get compared to normal guns on that MAC-10, the $600. Now, Liquid 2-1. Renegades still in a position where they can't offer a full buy and will still be playing for damage here because you don't want to let the CT economy get out of control. We could see a massive half from Liquid. If that's the case and JDM is playing well with the AWP, this could be quite messy, especially if Nitro is allowed to pick up a second AWP. I don't want that reality for Renegades. Time will tell.
Seems Renegades will look to deploy the flashbang and make their way into the drop. I saw the one flash onto Nifty and I was thinking surely not the plateau because the range, they would just get absolutely abused and it wasn't. They'll get a close range in the drop, but they won't get any kills, it doesn't seem. Only the flash deployer Nifty remains and he'll get cut to pieces, to ribbons perhaps, by ELEAGUE. ELEAGUE looks like a man who makes ribbons, perhaps. 3-1 to Team Liquid.
Yeah, this is now where stuff starts to get a little bit real because we'll see Renegades actually running some rounds now. They have the AWP onto Nifty. They have a great selection of utility to work with as well to try to create space around the map. And it's going to be down to Team Liquid to just try to hold here. And what if they win the round? It'd be really sick because they'll be able to pick up the AWP for free. And that's always a very nice thing if you're on the CT side. And I'll have to see if that's going to be the case here. Early pressure towards A long here for Renegades as part of their default, with Naf pressuring towards B by himself.
JDM keeping an eye on the plateau, although there are smokes all over the shop. They've re-smoked deep. Nitro looks over the smoke in long A. There are 4 Renegades players there, but not holding those angles at present. So Liquid may feel like they've got some information as they slowly edge away from that position. They seem to have a read because there's nobody in the drop zone at all for the CT side. Twistzz and zews are now looking in the other pass area, so they seem to have an idea as to what Renegades want to do here. They look very committed to this. Maybe they've done their homework. Renegades still holding position for now, but they've got 4 players in this position. Twistzz gets taken down in isolation, no one there to trade.
This is very awkward now for Team Liquid. It's 45 seconds left. They've expended all of their utility. They're down a man. This is a perfect spot for Renegades. They still have utility left, a huge amount of it. They have a lot of advantages. This is the kind of spot where Liquid have to say, whoa, we have to actually take some risks here. And here is the risk, and it's not going to go well. Naf is just waiting for it. Just Naf. They're going to try to trade drop zone. Horrible timing here for Liquid as they lose both players, and now they should probably even think about saving their money, because how on earth do they get back into this? Well, zews does have the flank, but there's so many players here for Renegades to account for all of the eventualities. It should be impossible for zews to do much from this position, but maybe we should not count him out just yet. Maybe with Nitro going ham, there's a chance.
Yeah, so it should be ready for him. Nifty's in a tight spot now. We know he's good with the AWP, but if he goes for the peek here, it is quite the commitment. And Molotov from the T side will try to slow zews down. He'll continue to make a nuisance of himself while Nitro tries to get more out of this. But can Nitro commit through the door? Subject to a smoke at the moment. And that bomb is too far ticked. But Liquid still holding position, maybe wanting Renegades to take nothing into this round. The flank from Nitro. He'll get one more, maybe 2. He might survive from this position. And indeed he will. Still hunting for frags with his 9 bullets. Azza says no.
Very good. Nitro, absolutely monstrous damage there. Out of nowhere, seemingly, as well. Winning, like, what, 3 1v1s in a row. Really beautiful stuff from him. And this was just very unfortunate timing for the Team Liquid side. I mean, that play would have worked out really well if they anticipate the Renegades go everyone towards the plateau. But because Renegades had 5 players left still, that's very unlikely. Renegades are, I mean, unless they are making a big mistake, they're always going to have someone towards a drop there. So I don't think that was the best call from Liquid, and they certainly got punished, but they still had some money in the bank, so we're going to see that double up out of Nitro and JDM. This could be where the tide changes, but if it doesn't, Renegades are going to gain a huge amount of momentum into this one.
zews will be the rifle support for the AWP towards long A, smoking it off for the time being, around the minute 30 mark. And the grenade to follow, but damage is minimal. In the meantime, Nitro's sniper holds a line through the danger position. Although I do wonder, He's rescoped now, but the T's are too far away to hear. He hears the grenades. That's a great shot, straight in the face of USTILO. Closed casket funeral for him. There are 3 more Renegades players, though, coming in the same direction.
So they have created some space at the cost of a man. They could have in a much better position to formulate a defense, especially with that double orb. It's always going to be a strong thing to fight against, and Nitro has been great on it as a secondary orb. And the bomb is by itself at A-long at the moment, and everybody else gravitating towards the B side of the map here for the Renegades. But the problem is that Liquid have a very forward setup on the B plateau, and that could really undo any potential push here.
That smoke.
Did he fail completely to smoke there?
Yeah.
Was he trying to fake towards A?
That was beyond fail, Dan.
I think he was trying to smoke the double doors or something, but that's not going to happen.
That was beyond fail, and JDM has to do a lot here. Renegades with 13 seconds somehow have made it into the side, but can they cross the planter bomb? You don't even need to cross the planter bomb, but Nifty manages to do it, getting legged in the meantime, and Liquid will charge as the bomb gets planted. Only so much Renegades can do, surely, from this position. Nafly versus 2, holding angles around the tree position. One player's made it to the statue already. He's blind, and now he is gone. And I do wonder if Renegades even deserve to get that far, all things considered. If you look at the CT setup at the moment from Liquid, JDM is repeatedly allowed to post up down the B plateau, and in many cases, Liquid can just leave him there alone. This time they, maybe because of the previous rotation by Renegades back towards B, they had EliGe deep in there as well as a trade fragger. So I think if you run that 10 times, I think 8 out of 10 times, Liquid are stopping Renegades from getting anywhere close to a bomb plant in that situation. So Renegades may want to consider the presence they have towards the plateau in the early round, because there were like 35 seconds left when they started going back towards plateau. And there was a smoke on the entrance.
Yeah, that was a bit of a sloppy from Liquid in the end with all the advantages. But I think Nitro is set up to have a massive game. He's already on 10 kills. He is looking crazy good right now. And so I love that he's playing the AWP and rotation from A. Now we've got the take of drop there with the pistols. Twistzz will give it up as he should. What else can Twistzz do here from this position? Now as they start to try to pressure him, he wants to maintain a very close position so that he can get some spray in onto these oncoming terrorist players and also keep a tab onto them. Nitro will spot them going across. So right now, Liquid just herding them, shepherding them into their own device, perhaps. But Nitro, not a good position to be in for him.
Only 1 kill per side so far. It starts to rain in now, and it seems that Liquid are looking reasonably comfortable, at least in that round. Towards the end of it, in control, despite the bedlam. Let's see if they can build their money, however. Renegades back on the buy now, still have an opportunity to break Team Liquid, but again, I think we need to see more from Renegades at the beginning of the rounds. I think they've had a few rounds where they've had a number of people towards A and just the one towards B, but they need to keep the sniper, if they can, further away from the plateau and more towards the statue, so they don't have that information. Or they need to make it expensive for them to get that. JKS hasn't got a kill in this game yet, and he's normally a dependable player for Renegades, so that's got to change. Tactical timeout's just expired for the Renegades side. And out come the AKs.
Yeah, this is kind of the scary thing. It's the reality we saw, previously when Liquid played Flipside on this map yesterday, that if you allow Liquid to get a comfortable CT side, up to like 8 rounds, something like that, their T side is going to be very good. So they've already done almost all the work they need to do to set themselves up for a win in the match. So Renegades do need to just stop this right now and just get rid of all this money. And they don't have too many chances to do that. The full AKs, though, will allow them a quick pace, a dynamic play style. They should be able to have good spacing, set up good trades. As we see Naf trying to pressure the B plateau and try to remove some of the utility. Maybe get a cheeky kill onto JDM if he overextends. Oh, there's a free one, and the second is his as well. That's a bomb site, very open. His team will now rally very quickly behind him to try to capitalize upon the opportunity that has now presented itself.
They've got to get past the choke points, though, and they're still there. They've been there for a while, now spreading out. 4 people on the site, and they are all over this. That is a great response from Renegades. Twistzz, how committed is he to this? That's 2 kills for him. Goes for the spray transfer, but he can't find the third. a nice adjustment from Renegades. And it's not even because NAF got a 2K and opened the site there, but it was focusing on stopping them from taking this area for free. JDM overextends, and now they've got to respect this position. Now they've got to respect the fact that Renegades will come hunting for them if they think that this is just gratis for them.
And it's kind of a weird spot now for Team Liquid because EliGe will drop some PT50s, but their economy is in a really weird place. Because they've sort of just been reset and everybody has around $2,000, they won't have that optimal money. It's only really JDM and EliGe that will, to buy all the nades and utility in the next round. So they may have to make some choices to maybe pick up some UMPs to have full utility, or maybe sacrifice the utility for good rifles. So definitely a lot of things for Liquid to think about being in this position, and a very timely win from Renegades to cripple their economy in this way. But I'm not sure NAF is going to find opportunities like that too often, so...
Yeah, but the respect might be enough. The respect that he demands may be enough. But first, we need to get through, or they need to get through this eco round with well-placed Molotovs, especially when there's a smoke deployed for the CTs to fight around. ELEAGUE very aware of the gap in that smoke, works both ways. JDM looking away in case there's a flashbang, but he is close. And there we go, the Molotovs being deployed, forcing the CTs into the open, but JDM manages to get the first kill. NAF will trade, looking for more underneath, and it's not really going well for him. Playing around a broken wall. There are many casualties around the B bomb site, but I'm not sure if these guns can be collected by the CTs. 2-on-2 though, with a very dangerous ELEAGUE. He may have to do the heavy lifting in this situation. Zeus by his side of the USP, moving together, salivating for those weapons on the floor. Then this Zeus to the decoy perhaps. ELEAGUE to go down first, Nifty to transfer onto Zeus. Could have been worse. The smoke, I mean, yeah, I don't like a smoke there versus a versus an eco. It's dangerous.
JDM found a good timing too. I think he was pretty lucky with the timing, and he anticipated well. And that's another round for Renegades, but a messy one for sure, and they won't be left with much in the bank because of that. And now the full buy comes in from Liquid. We'll see the double orb, but you can see how they are light on grenades here. Each player missing, roughly 2, apart from Nitro and Twistzz. So that's not optimal, but they will have the rifles that they want. And the firepower, it's hard to mitigate it when you don't have it. So now it's going to be about how Renegades can try to take map control again towards A with the default. Wow, okay, Nifty gets one through the smoke. I'm not sure if he had full vision or just a very good angle. What else will he get here? JKS was tagged down quite low, but the positioning here from Nifty is looking very strong. This could very well end up being an A round here for Renegades.
But the whole team have abandoned B again. Nafly was lurking for a time. He threw a few grenades over there, and he's gone. And Liquid have an opportunity to get a read. JDM is actually rotating towards the A site, but EliGe and Twistzz are heading, so they're split up 2 per site, Liquid. They don't have as much information as maybe they could have, although there are smokes there. JDM missing a crucial shot, but he's got more opportunities. USTILO taken down. The Molotov won't compromise his position, but maybe his vision hard to see through them. But now Zeus is activated, popping out from nowhere, and they're buying loads of time for the rotation to come in, and here it is.
Struggle for JDM. Can there be a recovery from his teammates? Yes, there will be. So far, so good. NAF goes for the transfer, but it's not gonna land. And Zeus really bailing JDM out there, able not only to keep him covered so that he can take peeks towards the APC, but also covering the frag towards the player rushing the cannons. And then at the end there, just staying alive. So Zeus is doing some great work in support so far for the team. And that's a very crippling round to lose for Renegades. They were not able to really build bank. Now they have to save again.
If you look at G2 in the previous round, there were some rounds where Kenny, they were low on numbers on the T side, but Kenny was selling a fake on his own, committing to it. Shox was selling a fake on his own, committing to it. And I think Renegades had the numbers to do that with NAF and keep the CTs entertained for longer and stretch them out more. Now they're back on the pistols, Renegades, and Liquid have a great chance to have a really good first half of Cobblestone. They chose to start on a CT side. So far, so good. Forcing these 2 players out into the open now. Oh, hello. Okay, opportunity not for NAF. 1 versus 2, but his fun has come to an end for this round. No plant for Renegades.
Ooh, can't save the orb. I don't think... Oh, he did. Okay, so they did manage... Zeus managed to find one of the orbs of the 2. They lost a lot of money that round. And again, it's one of those spots where I feel like, so far we're seeing a very slow start from JDM. there was a very realistic possibility from the previous round where zews sort of bailed him out, but he did die, where JDM should have just gotten the kills. Like, he missed, I think, 2 shots, which I think, you normally expect him to hit. So he's off to a slow start with the AWP. And there as well, another spot where it wasn't the most optimal performance from him. But his teammates, again, getting the AWP back into his hands, keeping him into the action. And that's really important. So Liquid now, not with the most optimal situation on the money. Nitro will be having to use an MP9. That's going to be fun. And zews indeed back onto the CZ.
Yeah, so this is a tight round for both teams. So maybe it's a good thing that JDM's just had to stare at an empty plateau for a few rounds while he warms up into the game. 7-4. Many possible scores at this point. See what Renegades have in store for the CT side. Again, it's used towards long A. Nitro around a danger position. Nafly will be lurking towards B once again. So this is how Renegades more or less started out in their buy rounds. 4 towards A, 1 towards B, but Nafly is not really harassing B because he's got to keep an eye on the drop zone as well. So he's just holding a super passive position at 1 minute 26. In the meantime, zews has found a lot of information, spotted the bomb as well. Nitro is still there with the fast fire rate of the MP9. Still got bullets, but Nifty will trade. There are only 2 members left, and Twistzz is making his way up the danger position. Liquid now in a 1-1-1 formation. ELEAGUE round drop. JDM moving to play close to him while still keeping an eye on B. And they may have to play the waiting game on these last 2 Renegades players.
Twistzz has a great position, though. I mean, they may try to check it as they walk past. But Twistzz, I think, if they are just walking, he will have an advantage into the engagement. If he gets just 1 kill and gets traded, that's still a fantastic situation. He sees it as well. Will he look for the next player? Gets caught by Nifty. Nifty knows he has to be fast now as he starts to pressure towards the site very quickly. Spots the next one. Nifty, clairvoyant perhaps. 1 more player to find as he rushes to the site. 25 seconds to get the plant. Plenty of time. Nifty now dropping the bomb there. Punches in the numbers. AWP back in action as he scopes up towards the APC. But it's all a guessing game now between the likes of JDM and Nifty. Nifty would make this a 4K. Should he be able to clutch this one? JDM has the use of an incendiary and a flashbang. A defuse kit as well. Options for both players here. There it is. Nifty gets a spot. Can he do it? Up onto the roof, drops down there. Can't quite find the angle, but he does! Back into it is JDM, and back at it again is Nifty. We're so used to seeing these clutches from him. I am loving it that it just doesn't stop, James.
So much info for Liquid early on, but they were ill-equipped. 3 kills, a flurry of kills, but Nifty is true to his name. So much fun to watch him, and that was a crucial kill at the end there. JDM drawing for the P250, perhaps so he could fire faster after taking the AWP shot, but it wasn't enough. Liquid are still on a bye, but it's even worse than the last one. That does not bode well. Round 13. In the first half. Renegades taking it slow now. They don't know what to make of the Liquid situation, perhaps. Maybe we'll use time to find out. Passive start. Not wanting to make any mistakes. This time, zews is in danger on his own, looking for that info. JDM and Nitro deep in A. Twistzz and ELEAGUE dealing with B. And again, 1 minute mark, nobody lurking towards B for Renegades, and ELEAGUE may start to get hungry for information. Indeed, he's moved up to the plateau now, and he's seen that nobody's there. So Liquid can keep 3 people towards A for the time being.
It is very scary, though, isn't it? These are just those kinds of rounds which have you sweating a little bit before you get a bomb planted. There could be pistols around every corner. zews will find a lot of damage there. Doesn't get a kill, though, and that's really a big problem. They need to diminish the numbers as they start to increase onto the site, but the nade actually does it. It finishes off the very weak player in JKS, but USTILO can't actually find the frag. Now they know where Nitro is. Oh my god, everybody's just being erased here off of this round, and it's now just down to 2 here for Liquid, but they're still doing the damage. Nifty pulling out the clock. What on earth was that? Liquid with a surprise victory in this round, now scavenging for the high-value guns, and ELEAGUE, he's going to collect an AWP. He's going to be chuffed to bits. Which means very happy if you're not British.
Yeah, chuffed, not charred. Renegades, they didn't have an ideal buy either. There was Mac 10 in play and so on. I like, though, how zews is putting himself sometimes in forward positions. He's essentially sacrificing himself to get the info for his team, to kind of give them a few seconds of warning. And it seems to be working out. Renegades on pistols now in the second last round of the first half. All advantages have gone away. So let's see now. 4 players around the B bomb site for Liquid, and again, zews will be the information man towards A. Moving into the underpass. He may hear some footsteps from JKS. Lots of running going on around long A. See them looking for information, but again, Renegades can't expect to get much out of this anyway.
Lots of running for zews to hear. Here's all the footsteps. They have the numbers though, so they can just hold their positions, have confidence in the fact that they have the superior weapons. Twistzz just waiting in a great spot there. It's very hard to anticipate exactly where he is. Lots of off angles you can play around pillars such as this. Easy 2 and 3. Now just 2 more to go. Quick maths.
There's one of them. JKS, no armor in the UMP. $1,000 is dead. Death by paper cuts in that round. We move to the last round of the first half. Will Liquid make it to 10? We'll see what the buy looks like for Renegades in just a few seconds. Twistzz with a nice angle to ensure himself of some 1 versus 1s, or raise the probability. Man takes care of his hair, it seems.
Well, we all aspire to be like more like Shocks, James.
Do we?
And that is part of it, part of the journey.
I'm a head shaver for life, Dan.
Well, we can see this a similar approach. Renegades in their defaults, they often play towards the long position, and perhaps that's becoming predictable. Nitro with a fast one gets the 1v1 versus Azza, and he's quite successful. As the rest of Renegades now announcing their presence. And this is really interesting because there's actually a huge amount of info and also past information that could allow Liquid to believe that they're going to try to play into A here. But they are rotating back. But again, the issue is that they haven't made any noise towards drop or any noise towards plateau, so the B players have maximum grenades to defend any kind of a push still. Or as many as you could hope. Maybe they have been a little bit too gratuitous in their use of grenades, but still.
Again, JDM is just staring at the walls on B plateau. There is a smoke down which the T's could cross, but he's aware of that and has deployed grenades as necessary. So let's see the late play from Renegades. Great timing from JDM to confirm that nobody's on that side. Now he can focus. He sees the grenades raining in, and they go straight into his crosshair. They could have been closer with some earlier grenades, but no. They will face maximum range. 5 versus 2 now in this last round, and they'll be cut down 1 by 1. And this is what I'm talking about. In that previous round, when they managed to plant the bomb, perhaps they didn't deserve to, because this is how I expected that round to go as well.
Yes, yes, absolutely. That's absolutely how it should have gone. And, you know, sometimes you have a bit of a slow start to a game, and I think that is definitely the case for JDM here. Definitely starting to get back into the swing of things. A very brutal game for Renegades on the... I mean, the whole point of this map is getting rounds on the T side. Like, you should expect yourself to get a lot more rounds on the T side. It should be the stronger side. You can have all of the map to play with. You can create these defaults that can be 5 different strategies, and that's sort of the power of it, and it's very hard for the CTs to do anything. So when you actually play a game and you're like, whoa, we only got 5 rounds on T side, and you move to the CT side, you usually don't feel on top of the world. So I'm hoping that Renegades can keep things together, just ignore that fact and just play a hell of a CT side. But Liquid, I mean, we saw from them previously against Flipside. I don't think Flipside got more than 1 round against them when the side switched. So we can expect strength from Liquid.
Well then, Renegades have a lot of work to do. 5 rounds down, but it's Liquid who may set the pace. Now they're on the T side. They're all moving together, it seems. Nifty, that's a good start from him. 2 players with grenades for Liquid. There's a smoke which I assume is useful deployed towards the door. There's a Molotov in tow as well, maybe for the site, should they get that far, but Nifty's trying to be everywhere. JKS has got range as well, dropped the bomb that was being carried by EliGe. Now it's going to turn for Nifty again. Molotov indeed goes towards the site, but there are no frags for Liquid. They need to find kills here. Renegades, he's a Gatling gun. Coming together like Power Rangers. Here a battle cry. They are 2 tables away from us. Liquid on the other side of the room.
And one thing to note as well is that's the second pistol round that Renegades have won in this game. However, on the first half, they did get reset immediately, so that's their mission now, is not to experience the same thing. We'll see whether or not Liquid have any tricks up their sleeves. They did not get the bomb down, so they don't have that extra money. Often teams will just force buy in that position, but not Liquid here. They're just going for some pistols, no nades, no armor. And you can see JDM and zews saving a lot of money here by just buying the P250s, and the rest of the players just Eagles. So the objective for Liquid is damage. They want at least a couple kills here to keep that economy honest of Renegades, and then it's going to be the same story for the next rounds, most likely.
Couple tings, as the Mandem would say. USTILO holding an off angle at the end of the plateau. He has Naf and Azza for support. There are no grenades to be thrown here by Team Liquid, and they may have been a cue for a flash to be thrown should a push come in towards B. But indeed, the bomb is moving towards A. ELEAGUE and Nitro far ahead, and only Nifty is towards A at the moment. So perhaps they can take him by surprise. He has the MP9. A fast weapon, but not the best weapon in the world, not always the most reliable. JKS making his way towards A. But I think they could have used a flashbang Renegades. I don't know if they have towards the plateau. Because USTILO now starting to move. He's got a Molotov out, and JDM's pushing in the meantime, and that might draw some CTs back towards the B bomb site while the bomb comes out towards A. This is going to get really interesting. JKS on the site on A, Nifty on the ramp as the silence continues, but JKS's position is very unexpected. Nifty's got a 1D in his face, and there's no kill for JKS. This may collapse around them.
Oh my god, this is absolutely horrendous for Renegades. They can't get back in. It's just going to be a conga line through the choke points as the Deagles reign supreme. Nitro ready, waiting. And what do you even do if you're Renegades from this position? It's so hard to go for this round, but they're going to have to try. There's no other result. And now Naf realizes this might be a little bit too difficult. And he's going to try to just back out of there, but will Twistzz allow him? It's like he will be able to escape at the time being. zews going for the challenge. I respect that. Only in the P250, there's almost nothing to lose here for the Liquid players, and eventually they will claim themselves the M4. Oh man, those angles not working out. JKS on the cannons, he couldn't cover for Nifty.
So Liquid managed to walk all the way down to B plateau and all the way down long A at the same time, and then essentially offer a fake towards B due to the lack of info seeking from Renegades. I don't know if they threw a pop flash to get some info before they rotated away from B, because they weren't on our screen at the time, but USTILO was still in the corner, so I don't know what Renegades were doing in that round, apart from standing in bomb sites. But
dying in bomb sites.
Considering that they have now won 2 pistols, as you mentioned, Dan, this is quite a disastrous situation.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts, isn't it? Oh dear. I mean, it's, again, you never aim to lose a round, but if you do lose the pistol round and you win that force buy, the implications on your economy and your opponent's economy are it's actually a better case scenario. Even though you have to concede a round for it, you have an opportunity to build a lot more bank and momentum. And Liquid are giving this a lot of respect early round. They don't want to make any mistakes. I think right now, one of the things we're seeing from Liquid is just generally a more efficient and more effective approach to CSGO. And, Renegades, there's been some holes here or there. And as we can see, those holes have been exploited by Liquid. Playing some good CS at the moment. And moving as a team, and I like that. Always a fan of that when you're in an anti-eco situation.
Nobody on the A side. Curious to see what Renegades choose to do. Once they realize, will they run to their doom, or will they try to hide somewhere and not give extra money away to Team Liquid? Time will tell. They hear the grenades now. And they must know that Liquid picked the correct straw. Deep Renegades moving away from A, but it may spread out around the other side of it. And Nitro, being aware of this, has made his way towards T-spawn already, so he's trying to go as wide as possible to stop Renegades from trying to go for exit frags, which appears to be the job they want to do. EliGe, StarCraft aim, nice trade from him. That leaves Naf as the lone survivor by the tree. Maybe he has a name for the tree. Maybe the tree is his friend. No other friends in this round for Naf.
Yep, it's a harsh, a cruel reality. Cold world for Renegades at the moment. It's going to be hard for them to dig themselves out of this. Honestly, this is sort of entering worst case, well, it is worst case territory for them.
He only had one bullet in his magazine on his CZ, by the way.
Yeah, I saw that. Okay, well, let's have a look and see what Liquid's approach is this round as well. So far, they've been consistent. They've been disciplined. We've seen a great game from Nitro in particular. And although, you know, zews is only 9 for 10, I think, you know, he's been very impactful in the rounds that he has been, you know, fragging. And obviously, you know, he's operating and doing a lot of the calling, picking up a lot of the information, doing a great job for his team.
Grenades, taking chunks. And those are some more chunks. Chunks of death, that.
Chunks of death. Raining down on the drop zone.
As he manages to escape with whatever chunks he has left. He's a man of few chunks, Dan. Because many a chunk has been
Ooh, some damage maybe. Naf able to get one but traded out, and numbers is with Liquid, and they decide to pull the trigger on the push onto the A bomb site. And it should be a pretty simple affair from this point forward. As you see JDM just trying to spray down the remainder, but a little bit of a complication there. But again, it's honestly, they won't sweat it. Like at this point, there can be some inefficiencies in how, you know, people are dying and, you know, how they're losing money, because Liquid are in such a huge advantage to win this game.
I have to say, when I saw that the map was Cobblestone, I feared for my pick of Renegades. Did not think this would bode well for them. But they're still in with a fight. Here is their buy round. Nifty on the AWP, CT side. This is where they can really do some damage, but Liquid going to be too much for them. zews, I think, used himself in the best way he could on the CT side, but how can he enable his team on the T side? He'll be harassing the plateau for the time being, doing the job Nafly was doing. So he may take some risks there. Meanwhile, JDM's been picked towards A. However, EliGe and Nitro are making some inroads through the long position. The bomb's been left by the boulder, though. Twistzz may go to collect that.
I think slow down a bit as Renegades start to play really passively. And it makes sense, you know, you have that kill. As James mentioned, JDM did go down just earlier. Ooh, that's an easy one for Nifty, looking for that. That's a move that I think, you know, Nifty probably has seen a bunch of times before. And again, having the 5 versus 4 that they did, they decide that that's enough to just play incredibly passive positions. You can give up almost all the map control and just have some strong setups. And hey, that's a bonus. Now it's just Nitro, zews, and Twistzz. But you can't count them out, especially not Nitro. He's having a great game so far, and zews is the first man in. Let's see what they can do.
5 versus 3. Liquid standing in the choke point around the fire. But there is an opening frag for them on this side. Lots of Renegade players all standing in the same line. That's going to be dangerous for them. And the frags will rain in for Team Liquid. Now it's a 2-1-2. 25 seconds. JKS is the last man standing. What on earth has just happened?
Oh my god. zews wins his 1v1. And then Nitro's just stood there, broken wall, trying to 1v3. And the combination of the grenade and the timings, the peaks, I don't even understand. That was incredible. zews and Nitro, new duo.
looking at the, like, it looked like 3 players on the CT side were all in a similar line, but it's hard to tell from the X-ray. This does not look like a good map for Renegades.
It's kind of crazy too, because in the past, you know, Renegades have just often loved to go to, you know, a Cobblestone, but this was always my issue with Renegades, and I think for many people as well. It's just that consistency from Renegades. It's just hard to find, and Liquid are a very stable, steady team at the moment. Even, you know, that they're playing with zews. Obviously, zews is their coach. He's a guy that has created the structure. He knows in and out exactly how the team should play. So despite, you know, jumping in to line up instead of steal, you know, it's not like they're going to forget their system or how to play, or that it's really a massive difference. And the way they've been adapting with him, it's been quite remarkable. So, not skipping a beat so far, really.
There may be no beat then for Renegades very soon indeed. Someone's been on the VR, been on that surgeon simulator, and taken all the organs out. Replaced it with carbonated drinks there. High in sugar. Maybe a touch of high fructose corn syrup, perhaps. Renegades are in a terrible situation. They haven't gone for the full force buy. They've gone for some pistols here and there, and the scout, at this point in the round, they have no grenades. They are banking on Bedlam. Luck. Fortune. Fortune may favor the brave, but it will not favor the nifty.
Yeah, so far, Liquid have been really disciplined in their anti-ecos and anti-force buys. We haven't seen them put a foot wrong just yet. A slow, steady, and disciplined approach, a routine approach, most importantly, really tells you everything you need to know. Crossing their T's, dotting their I's, diligences everywhere here on the Liquid side as they start to make their way into the B-bomb site for the plant in the end of the round, which would give them 15. And really, at this point, they're just going through the motions. And it seems rather enjoyable for them. Not so much for Renegades.
Yeah, what to even say at this point? What is there to say?
I mean,
they want both pistols. They've got 6 rounds. They got reset both times.
I mean, they'll have the 5th round loss bonus, which is $3,400. They've set up a lot of cash, so they will have everything they want next round. Everything they could possibly want, they will have it next round. So they'll have at least one solid buy before it's all over to at least try to scrape something together in this game. Perhaps, some respect, regain some dignity. Because ending a game like this is not going to be an enjoyable way to do it, to be honest. It's going to feel so much worse than if you are able to somewhat, remedy some of the problems on the fly and then, make a good comeback. Maybe if you'll still lose potentially, but then at least you can feel less bad about it moving forwards. Here's a timeout here from Renegades as they try to concoct a plan, a strategy, something, anything to deal with Team Liquid.
They have their max loss bonus. They will have a full buy. Question is, how do they win? How do they stop Nitro? A Nitro who is currently 27 for 12. No one else on the server is even in the 20s. He is beasting right now. He's leaving handprints, Dan, on the arses of Renegades.
The crazy thing as well is that you could see this, I think in round 7 or something, when he was 10-2, just by seeing his POV, his point of view, we saw the fact that wow, he's actually looking really clean, really confident, he's winning clutches, and we know that his skill level is insane. So it's sort of like any star level player, when you see them having a really good start to a game, they're going to go huge, and that's exactly what Nitro's done. I mean, that's a huge amount of frags considering we are just only past, half, 6 rounds past, halfway point in regulation time. That's a massive score, even if you have a full, 30 rounds played. So he's doing excellent work for his team. And again, so is Zeus. I've honestly been very impressed, I should say, with how Zeus has been integrated as a player into the team and how they're playing around him, how he's enabling them.
Liquid started slow, preying on the desperation and the fear of Renegades. Now they charge towards the A site as around the smoke in the connector position. Nifty is alone. He's exposed. EliGe is coming in from the back. He spotted his posterior. And he can warn his teammates, but Zeus will go down regardless. And there's no trade. Nifty is still alive, doing what he does on Cobblestone. But is it too much? Too little, too late? We will find out. Twistzz taken down. It's Nitro alone. Time to clutch once again. 1 versus 4 for Nitro. 1 player on the balcony. Nav basically not going to work out. These players, they can't line up for him. The transfer won't be fast enough. 2 kills, doing more damage, but Renegades at least find round number 7.
The insane thing for me there is that actually, I think Nitro was trying to gamble on actually jumping over the side, down between the APC, around the APC, and after the kill on the player on balcony. And I think he just actually missed the jump. I think if he makes that jump with the form he's been in, he may actually win the round. He may actually clutch it. That's kind of insane. I mean, he got 2... So, I mean, we can look at it this way. He's in a 1v4. He cannot move. And he still gets 2 kills. He's stuck in a corner. Still gets 2 kills. Brilliant stuff from him there. And additional damage done. But something for Renegades, at least, as they move forwards. But JKS will be relegated to a UMP, which is not ideal. But he can take a position that is suitable for a weapon such as that. Anything that's close range will be suitable. They could go in for a fast play towards B, perhaps.
See how many grenades they invest into this. They look pretty committed to and execute presumably a wall of smokes. Better get your gas masks ready. USTILO and NAF are already ahead of that, but will they stay there? If they do, they may have a lot of information. USTILO's got clean vision now of the plateau area, and there's the rotation. Nifty sees the bomb immediately. Full rotation and one man flanking. Nifty misses a second shot. That would have bought a lot of time, but JKS and Azza are already on the site. Liquid have lost their map control in both directions. USTILO is still charging. He may want to slow down now and just contain these players, because if he goes down, there's nobody on B. NAF has to rotate back. Renegade spread everywhere, but he's still pushing. I don't think he needs to anymore.
Yeah, he can definitely hold. Right now, his teammates have a very solid position on the bomb site. He doesn't have to get kills, as you say. He wants to get kills once Liquid commits, and they have not committed yet. They've got 45 seconds. Don't want to pull the trigger too early on this one. There it is. Now he can start to push in as Twistzz goes for the frag onto Azza, the return kills, but it's pretty good for Renegades, and they'll clean up the round. Have they done enough to actually diminish the economy? Liquid don't actually have a huge amount of money. They can actually buy in this round. I don't think they should, because okay, they could get full AKs on most players, but they would be lacking grenades and so on, and they could buy an AWP and have no Kevlar on Nitro, for example. Like there are possibilities to buy, but they're in that spot. It's match point. They don't care about Renegades' economy. All they care about is getting the maximum amount of full buy rounds for themselves, which maximizes their opportunity to win. And that's what they're doing. So, or actually, they do half buys. So, but whatever. At this point, we can't put it past them winning any rounds. I mean, they won a round with 3 Deagles and 2 P250s, and that was it.
One more round. If you're a fan of the Horsey Horse, that is the official name.
Oh, it is?
No, it's not. I'm lying. Renegades with half the score of Liquid, more or less. Lying in wait. Will they make the same mistake twice? Let's not forget that round where Liquid were able to creep deep B and A at the same time, and they've already got significant map control towards A. Yes, they are ill-equipped, but if they can play the numbers game, then who knows? There's a flashbang off your screens for USTILO to have a look and see what's going on in Plateau, and he sees absolutely nothing, but still, JKS is alone towards A. That fly's starting to move over there now. Renegades have to be prepared for a push. Azza will keep an eye on the connector position, and zews will be the man to sacrifice himself once again. Here at the smoke there, and JKS has spotted a lot of information, spreading his love all over Liquid, leaving Nitro alone with the Deagle. It's a question of damage now for Nitro, though. If he can pick off NAF, maybe there's a bomb plant in this for him. NAF dancing around the APC. Azza making his way towards the balcony. And there is the kill. Round number 9 for Renegades.
Round number 9. 6 more to go, and the reward is overtime. Lots of things can go wrong in that time. They have to hold steady, maintain composure. It's Liquid to take the tactical. As we'll see JDM on the AWP straight away. And they will decide what they should do with this. Again, we haven't seen, there's a lot of stuff that Liquid haven't done just yet. A lot of things that they haven't tested just yet. So I'm curious to see if we'll see a mix-up of approach, or whether they'll go back to one of the true or tried and tested rounds. Again, defaults on this map are so effective, and Liquids have been pretty strong with those. So there's likely no reason to betray that idea just yet. But this is quite cool, just having that time to sit down and sort of just spread the information about different positions and confirm certain facts about how the opponents have been playing to best inform the decision. So let's see how they handle it as Liquid make their way quickly towards the B plateau. Ooh, they may just walk through everything here. They may just go contact. This is sneaky stuff, James.
There are some counter grenades though from Renegades, and you can see that Nifty has been put into a dirty position. Will he go for a fast flank though? Is he brave enough? The presence of mind to Molotov behind him, Liquid, just in case. But what can they do on the B-bomb site? Still in the choke point, the bomb is down. The burst from Naf gets 2 kills, leaving Nitro alone, 1 versus 4. Only USTILO has fallen in this round. Nifty's waiting, just waiting, and there it is, the AWP. 5 rounds, the margin for error is small, but the deficit isn't too large.
I actually love that choice from Liquid, because when you take a tactical like that, you know, usually people are thinking that, okay, there's going to be a slower, more elaborate round or something like that, but they just like, well, we're just going to walk through the smokes, actually, and just do a very fast contact play. And that really puts a lot of pressure on the first player that has contact, which in this case I believe was Naf. And he absolutely smashed it. He had a great performance there. If he does not do that, if he goes down straight away, they get down the stairs, the round's probably over for them.
Numbers game towards the A side. And this Naflies turn to spread the jab. Round over. 4 rounds left. This is where you start to sweat, you start to perspire, you need that roll on, need that kind of lynx or axe since we are in America. Unless man is, of course, not hot, Dan. But maybe Liquid will start to get hot if Renegades continue to close this distance. I think Renegades were desperate to get to the CT side. A lot of teams have been picking the CT side to start from on Cobblestone recently.
Yeah, that's kind of funny to me. I hope that for Liquid's sake they don't evaporate then. As now they start to try new things. It's a new journey, an odyssey, a sojourn for Liquid, and he's still going to go for the push. Do see this often enough from him. He does like those antics, and you can leave him deep in that position and cheat players towards A if you think that's what's going to happen. But it's very early in the round to be doing, to be cheating players anywhere. So you have to be quite cautious because they could explode onto USTILO for all they know.
Nifty was boosted over a smoke on A long by JKS. He didn't go too deep on the peak. He would have been shot in the face by EliGe, no doubt, if he did, but he knows that there isn't the usual harassment there. But again, there's only so much information you can get on the CT side, unless you're Zeus, it seems. Second AWP on Naflight. Avoiding the grenades, seeing lots of people, the same setup we saw from Liquid, which will be more successful though. So many players in the red for Liquid. The Molotov will take JDM down and Naf re-aggressives. 3 versus 3 though. Liquid could still make a fight out of this. Zeus and Twistzz on a combined 9 HP Dan.
Yeah, that 1v1 loss by Nitro there, or won by JKS, was massively key. If Nitro wins that, he gets position, and the round's over. The game is over. It's very certain that that's the case. But as you say now, it's Zeus and Twistzz left. 9 health collectively. That is not fun. For them at least, but for JKS, he's having a great time. Finishes off the remainder of the round. And that's going to be 1 more on the board for Renegades. Ever closer now.
Nice. So they could buy in this round Liquid. They would be lacking some grenades. Normally this is the this would be the eco round, the middle round. Tactical timeout from Liquid to perhaps discuss this. Nitro and Twistzz have $3,800 and $3,900 respectively, so they would be short. So if they chose to force buy, maybe you would see a fast play due to lack of grenades here. And if they fail and don't plant the bomb, we're looking at 14-15 essentially. So they're going to go for half buy. ELEAGUE with a UMP, and this is still a winnable round if they can get close enough, with these CZs especially. If they can get on the site, if they can get past, let's say, the B plateau choke point, the broken wall, with 4, maybe even 3 members if smokes are down, they may be able to win this round. Maybe.
Yeah, we've seen it before.
On the other side, if Renegades can get to overtime and continue on the CT side, they may become a favorite to win this.
Yeah, everything gets very weird when you get to the overtime. So that very well may be the case. JDM deep towards the B plateau. At the moment, Renegades are playing a passive setup as expected. Don't want to take big risks against this buy. Or, well, It's half buy of Team Liquid. Now killing a lot of the clock at the moment. Nothing given to Renegades as far as information is concerned. Again, they're not really interested in going and seeking out information in this kind of a round, and that is the correct way to approach it here. They
could still get a flash on Plateau, I think. USTILO is looking for grenades just facing the wall at the moment, underneath the crack in the wall, so giving the opportunity for Liquid to burst onto a site by not really abusing the range afforded to them. JDM on the balcony now, and he's been spotted to pull more people towards the B bomb site. He's been taken down, but what else is there? In the meantime, Twistzz is left with 12 HP. The bomb's been lost, so perhaps it's crisis averted, but I get worried when I see those situations.
Yeah, the thing. Again, it came down to a 2v1 on the ramp, and they just couldn't win it. And that's JKS, doing massive work, being that man once again. JKS has been that guy twice now. Twistzz is still going for this, though. 13 seconds. He doesn't have time to get the bomb and plant it, I don't think. Or does he? If he runs all the way and there's no one to stop him. Ooh. Well, I think he would have had to have planted open. And I think then he would 100% have died, so there was no chance there for Twistzz. 13 rounds for Renegades. We were sort of calling out, or at least I was sort of calling out their T side a bit, and now it's Liquid who are super struggling on that T side. It's really looking very, very tough. And now the double ops comes into play. Naf picking that one up again. He was deadly with a rifle. He's just as deadly with an AWP as well. Naf is a player that's always been fun to watch.
All the rounds. All the rounds. 3 Liquid players making their way towards the plateau. Smokes down. But they've taken their initial presence. Twistzz is in that corner wall. Even in this situation, a CT could get a Molotov there and spray to anticipate a T leaving and try and get a kill that way. There's the Molotov.
They very obviously dropped the bomb there as well. I think the sound cue would have been heard by the nearest player, which is Azza.
USTILO threw the Molotov, but didn't spray through the smoke. He just went to face the wall in case there was a push. So I think that's an opportunity lost there. Bardov gets a kill there every time.
So going for the commitment towards B here is Liquid. They have gotten rid of all the the initial counter grenades. There's only flashbangs left now for Renegades. And there's a minute left. So that's actually kind of a good situation to be in. And zews will claim the drop zone by himself. This is very scary for Renegades. They must win the opening engagements.
JKS spots zews making his way out of the drop zone. Has he done enough distraction? Nafly around the statue position. USTILO is support rifle, and he's pushing JDM, but he gets taken down by Nitro. But Nitro is alone, and I think we are headed to 14-15 unless Nitro can burst into the A bomb site. Nifty holding an angle, going back towards B now. JKS is there. 27 seconds. He's got to reload soon. 11 bullets left for him. He knows there's one player behind him, one player in front of him. Does he know where the third player is? He's running out of time to make a decision, and it seems he will go towards the A site. 13 seconds left. Nifty has a great angle because he's covering every entrance to the site itself. Nitro going around the back, but he's spending so much time that he can't plant the bomb anymore. The shot's missed by Nifty, but Nitro has to go for the kill. Too late to win the round now, and he made that after time. He's taken the AWP away. Perhaps it will be saved, but I think there was maybe too much indecision there.
Yeah, I think there was just too much information for Renegades as well, that they were going to push B. I mean, they had... sure, Renegades didn't have any grenades left apart from flashbangs, but they had 4 players.
Oh.
They had 4 players just sitting there, waiting for the push to come in. It was very telegraphed.
Nitro has 36 kills.
It slowed down a lot on the T side. He was 28, 29.
No. He's got 18 on both. He's got 18 on both.
Oh, really?
Yeah. According to the stats in the game.
Are you sure? Interesting.
But that's what it says here. I don't know if it's correct though. Sometimes it's wrong. Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think it is wrong.
I think it's quite wrong.
Yeah, all right.
Oh, wait. That's not a good start. Once again, pressuring B plateau. It's just not really gone too well for Team Liquid. And again, very good. The bomb is dropped there. They're so committed. How is the bomb? Oh no. How is the bomb? How is Nitro dying with the bomb there? He must not have known that he had the bomb. Now they are completely committed into attacking B. Renegades know it. They've reinforced it with every single player. There's surely no way.
There's still 4 of them alive. Okay, this is turning into a mess. ELEAGUE has said no. What is going on in this round? Not like this, surely! up close behind the smoke, taken by surprise with the AWP, and now Nifty. It's time to clutch. 2 players in the red. He spots one crossing, but he's got 2 more to wonder, and he can't know how tagged these players are. How does he avoid getting traded? He can't. That is a collapse at the very end.
Oh my god, there is no way that it should have gone down like that. That was a massive blunder for Nitro to have the bomb. He may not have known, someone maybe have tossed it to him, and the information may not have been communicated, and he dies when his team is so far away. All of Renegades were in position to guard the bomb. I just do not understand, because if we look at it as well, Liquid did not have the weaponry. They had a they were sorely lacking in utility. They should never have won that round in Renegades. Oh my god, that is such a horrible way to lose.
So close and yet so far. Really unfortunate stuff for Renegades, but congratulations to Team Liquid. Another victory in the bag. Thoughts of the desk on this one after the break.